So that's my philosophy. Alrighty, our next spark is by Josh Schuler, and it's titled 4 Jobs Every Person Should Have. Josh is a stock and option trader, consultant, and socialpreneur. Josh moved to Fort Collins because he heard it had bikes and beer. True and true. His family says he looks too serious. Let's find out. Josh.
Yeah, so we need to think and talk about the way that we think about our work. Because unfortunately, many of us struggle to find purpose and meaning in our work. And for me, the reason is simple. We just haven't had the right jobs yet. But I think that if everyone here had the 4 jobs I'm going to talk about tonight, you could find purpose, fulfillment in any work. So what are these jobs? Number 1, food service. Now, there's a lot about food service that's no fun, right? There's poor hours, poor pay, rude customers, poor tips, and then there's the mess. Like, it's messy. But life is messy, isn't it? I mean, we create material, emotional, and psychological mess for people all the time. And we do a decent job dealing with our own mess, but when it comes to the mess of somebody else, I mean, I had coworkers who threatened to quit on the spot when I asked them to deal with the mess of another customer. And I do understand that primal urge when dealing with the mess of a rude customer to conspire and say, he's getting the special sauce. But that's just it. In food service, we are presented the opportunity to learn how to deal with the mess of someone else and maintain composure, and this is a meaningful skill. Job number 2, customer service. So when was the last time that you called into a 1-800 number because you wanted to dote on the person on the other side? I mean, when we're talking to a customer service representative, we can be pleasant to a point that we get frustrated, and then all bets are off. I had a friend that while he was in grad school, he answered 1-800, how's my driving? How many complimentary phone calls do you think he got? But that's the tension in customer service, is that we're asked to take responsibility for issues that are not our fault. We have a hard enough time taking responsibility for our own junk, let alone the junk of somebody else. Like, get real. But if you want to inject meaning and purpose into your work, look for opportunities to take responsibility for issues that are not your fault. Customer service offers this. Job number 3, manual labor. Now, I gotta tell you, I don't wake up in the morning going, I wanna push myself to my physical limits. My default setting actually is lazy. I could be called an inside guy, but I'm not, and partly because of the value I have learned through manual labor. In college, I operated this sadistic device. Once while trimming trees, I cut through a hornet's nest. Not a lot of fun. I had friends in shifts that were so difficult, we had people quit on the spot. I mean, I get it. Manual labor is painful. Surely there's other things we'd rather do, but this is the beauty of manual labor because it gives you an opportunity to learn that the mind is stronger than the body. You can tell your legs to shut up. And manual labor offers the opportunity to learn this skill. Finally, job number 4, direct sales. Now, is there another job where the prerequisite reads something like willingness to face rejection day after day? My first sales job, I initiated contact over the phone with clients, and I was like this prepubescent wallflower getting up the nerve to walk across the floor and ask the popular girl to dance. I mean, like, what if she says no? Like, what if I forget my name? I mean, it sounds awful. But I think everybody should sell, and here's why. Successful salespeople have learned how to decouple the right activity from results. What I mean by that is that you can do the right activity as a salesperson and still not get the sale. But if you can learn the resilience to come back for when the sale happens, you can thrive, and you get this opportunity through direct sales. So why talk about all of this anyway? I mean, why does this matter? It's because if we're going to spend most of our lives working, it should be meaningful, right? But nothing will work unless we do. Now, the reality is that you could have all 4 of these jobs and completely miss the point. But my hope is that you would see these 4 jobs as an example that there's potential for purpose and meaning in any job, and that you would write a better story. But that only happens if one thing happens. You see, in all 4 of these jobs, there's a common obstacle to finding purpose and meaning, and that is ourselves. You can actually find purpose and meaning and fulfillment in any job, but you have to overcome yourself. If the primary orbit for your work is selfish, you will not do good work. But if you can overcome yourself, you can actually learn how to give gifts to people through your work. And the people that I admire most in their work, and I suppose you do too, have learned how to cope with mess they didn't make, take responsibility for issues that are not their fault, marshal physical feelings with stronger minds, and they do the right activity until they succeed. It becomes a form of visible love because it spills over. When you find purpose and meaning, you should treat people different. You might even tip more. So to leave you, I want to give you an example of what I'm talking about, a tangible example. There is a wizard who works among us here in Fort Collins, and his name is Tim, aka the M&E painting guy. He works at the corner of Harmony and College, and his wizardry looks something like this. Now, I have seen lots of other sign holders, but none like Tim. I mean, he makes everything better. And that's really the trick to this, if there is one, is that we need people who learn how to overcome themselves to do good work and share with others. The world needs people like this, so see the potential for purpose and meaning in your work, and please hurry.
Nine-volt battery. Ha ha, I saw one of the jokes finally. And it was right here in front of me all the time.